Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. It is a little bit late, but we are going to be doing the daily reading for Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020. And today is a day that's ruled by the second chakra and guided by elegance. And this is the beginning of another 13-day wave spell. And so the yellow magnetic star energy, which is the galactic frequency or energy for the day, is going to be the overriding energy guiding the next 13 days. And so we can keep this in mind, keep this in our hearts as we move forward throughout the next 13 days. And so the yellow star energy is about beautification, elegance, and art. And I really liked this part of it, so I wanted to read it for you guys. It says, "Art is how we greet the day, how we respond and interact to the elements in our lives. As a dimension of being and acting, art exists as a universal opportunity for creativity, innovation, and expression, each of us adding to the blank canvas of the moment. Art bears the language of the soul, transparently revealing our divine essence. Art, like the realm of beauty, is naturally occurring, enhanced with intention, is unlimited in its appearances and manifestations, transcends definition, and is measurable by feelings and insights it provokes." And then it says also, "When we contemplate life through the eyes of purity, everywhere we look, we see beauty." And so this is art in all of its forms. This is about tapping into our creativity, and bringing that creativity and that expression into every single moment. I just heard the words ecstatic expression in my head. So bringing that into every moment, seeing the inherent beauty and purity in every single interaction, in every single person, in every single situation, every single place, seeing that within ourselves, recognizing that anything that we can recognize on the outside also exists within us. So really honoring that and striving to make every moment in our lives the most beautiful piece of art that we can possibly make it, to really appreciate it and to really sink into that sense of wonder and awe at the beauty and the majesty of the world around us. So beautiful, beautiful energy to be working with for the next 13 days and to be holding within our hearts and within our souls. The affirmation for today is, "I unify in order to beautify, attracting art. I seal the store of elegance with the magnetic tone of purpose. I am guided by my own power doubled." And yes, so the tone of the day, which is carrying on throughout this 13-day wave spell, is the magnetic tone. So that is all about unification and purpose. And so it's understanding that we are all one unified whole. And as we understand this and we step into the sense of that, we also understand that we all have a purpose within this collective whole. And we begin to magnetically attract that purpose as we think of it, as we acknowledge it and bring it into our consciousness. And so this is expressing that purpose through art, through the art and the elegance and the beauty of the way that we carry ourselves in the world, of the way that we create, right? The way that we paint on this canvas of our own lives, and understand that it's really a mural that we're creating with everybody else, and the ways that we can contribute to each other's paintings, right? To each other's art. It's really beautiful energy, and it's a really good way. Anytime that we're creating, we're tapping into our bliss, we're tapping into our joy, and that helps to bring us closer and tap us into our purpose. And so anytime that we're wondering what to do or where to go, if we take a step back and we create, we go into that blissful state of joy, that can help to sort of guide us towards what it is that we're meant to do. Where is your joy? Where is your bliss? What can you create out of that joy and out of that bliss and share with the rest of humanity? So the astrology for the day today, we have Mercury, who is now in Sagittarius. So this is a little bit of a breath of fresh air in some ways. We've had Mercury in Scorpio for quite a while now. Mercury went retrograde in Scorpio, so it spent some extra time there and is now finally moved out into Sagittarius. And so we have that sense of adventure when it comes to our mind state, when it comes to the way that we're processing information. We're in a very philosophical kind of space now. It's very philosophical. It's very experimental. We're very interested in diversity, in learning new things and exploring new avenues. And so this is a beautiful energy to be a part of. The downside to Sagittarius energy is that when Sagittarius feels as though they have learned something and they understand something, they can really get a bit dogmatic in that approach. And so that's the kind of energy that we want to be wary of as we have Mercury transiting Sagittarius, is anywhere where we feel like we know and we're in that black and white kind of thinking. We want to allow for that gray area, because that is where all of the mystery unfolds. That is where we learn. That is where we grow. And so that polarized kind of energy is the energy that we want to avoid. But we really want to tap into this melting pot kind of energy of really being curious and taking from different people, different perspectives, different ideas, looking at information that is foreign and exotic to us, and sort of refining our understanding of the world, our understanding of ourselves, our understanding of faith. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. It's also very much about faith. So what does that mean to us? Our faith is going to be very much on our minds, our ideals, our morals, our beliefs, all of these different things. And so we're being given the opportunity to to transform those and to move into a higher understanding and realization of those things, where we synthesize outside viewpoints and knowledge to come to that conclusion. And so that is the ideal when we have this Mercury and Sagittarius kind of energy. And Mercury is in a sextile to Saturn today. And so this is an energy of really being, our mind state is very much focused in, and how can I be productive, right? Saturn in Capricorn is the ultimate in productivity. Saturn rules Capricorn. So it's very much like, how can I create the things that I'm wanting to create? What is it that I need to do? What are my responsibilities? What do I need to take care of? Is a lot of the energy where some of our mental energy may be focused today. And then we also have Mercury in a trine to Chiron and in a sextile to Pallas. And so this is interesting because the Pallas energy really helps us to bring in those outside of the box kind of thinkings, where really we're looking at the patterns that overlay everything and really seeing where those patterns are popping up. And we're really getting a chance to make some headway when it comes to our physical reality right now, when it comes to what we are creating. What is that art that we are creating and manifesting right now? And how can we fine tune that and bring it to a new level of elegance? And that is something that we will easily be able to do today with these energies if we so choose. We also have the moon in Cancer, and so this is a very intuitive energy. The moon is ruled by Cancer, and so we have that. It's like, yeah, interesting. We're talking a lot today about planets and their rulerships, I'm realizing as I say this. But yes, the moon in Cancer, the sign that it rules. And so this is that highly nurturing, feeling, intuitive, emotional energy. And we have the moon making a trine to Venus. And so this may be a day where we're really wanting to connect with others. We're feeling that softness and that gentleness that Cancer brings. We're also have that Venus and Scorpio energy, so that intensity and that intimacy. So today may be a day where we're desiring true intimacy with others. We also have the moon in a sextile to Uranus, squaring Chiron, and in a sextile to true black moon. And so we could have some wounds coming up today. There could be a little bit of tension in our interactions, but underlying all of it is that deep desire to connect. So if we just bring it back to that and we allow ourselves to remain open and to just be aware of anything that might be triggered and anything that might be popping up, and allow ourselves to work through that and see that as an opportunity, right, to advance our understanding of our relationships with others and our understanding of ourselves, then we can still really capitalize and benefit on that energy. Our emotions today are really showing us. They are a guidepost right now, showing us what it is that we truly long for, where it is that we still have work that we need to do. And so if we pay attention to those, they can serve us and guide us very well today. Sorry, I get the notifications that pop up and they're very distracting, so... All right, so what do we want to do? What do we want to pull for cards? I'm being drawn to the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck. Clear. So we're going to pull some cards from here and see what the cards have to say. December 2nd, 2020. And yes, we have this interesting theme of all of these important dates that we've had in 2020 that have the numbers 1, 2, and 0 in them. And so the December 1st, December 2nd, we're right in line with those energies. And so these days have felt incredibly potent to me, energetically speaking. And then we have 12, 12, 10, 12, 11, 12, 12 coming up. And then we have, 12, 20, 12, 21, which we all know is a huge day, 12, 22. And yeah, a lot of these, there's a lot of opportunity for these number sequences or codes, as they're feeling to me, to be present in December. And so it's really interesting. It's like it almost feels to me like the coding of the universe, or at least of the earth, is being rewritten right now. Or there's something, because everything exists in code. This is a total tangent, but I'm really wanting to talk about it right now. Everything that the base of the fabric of the universe is code, right? And so it's like the code of this reality or dimension has been in the process of being rewritten throughout 2020. And this month is just huge for that. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens this month. We have so many intense energies as we are moving into 2021, right? And we are anchoring in this age of Aquarius on the 21st. If you guys haven't checked out that video, I highly recommend that you do. Some really big energies coming through. And so for today, we have the Rainbow Prince as the first card. And this is about compensation and perseverance. And that's coming out with the Phoenix, Resurrection, Surrender to Change, and the Swan Queen, Transformation, Intuition, and Patience. Excuse me. And so this is feeling very much to me like we have the Phoenix in the middle here. And so it's like this is a reminder that we're in the middle of a transformation right now. And we felt this Phoenix energy coming through strong ever since, funnily enough, ever since October, which was 10, which was when we really got into this coding heavily with the 10, 11, and 12 months, which all contain those 1s, 0s, and 2s in multitude. So that's really interesting and really fascinating. But yeah, ever since October, this Phoenix energy has been coming through heavy. And so it's persevering through that. It's persevering through that transformation, surrendering to that process, allowing this transformation to happen. It's like I'm feeling as though for some of us, there are like these last vestiges of this transformation that we're not 100% allowing in, or we're having trouble sort of releasing those final remnants that need to go. And so it's just like surrendering to wherever it is that we're holding on, just allowing the change that's happening to happen. And this isn't just this. I'm feeling much more than outer change. I'm feeling as inner change, like the inner changes that are happening right now, really surrendering to those and allowing those. It's like some of us, it's like we know that if we allow those inner changes to fully take place, that means that everything on the outside that hasn't changed yet will change with it. And so there's a little bit of hesitation because like, what's that going to look like? But regardless of whether we're welcoming or not, change is coming. And so it's so much easier to just surrender to that. Resistance is painful. Surrender is gentle. And this is difficult for us to remember sometimes, but it's absolutely true. And I'm seeing this with the compensation as well. It's like I'm feeling the rewards for our perseverance coming through. Like the path has not always been easy, right? It's been a little bit rocky at times. We've questioned things at times. We've wanted to give up many, many times and maybe just revert back to an old version of ourselves, to an old version of our lives that felt more comfortable, just because the change and the being a stranger to ourselves almost sometimes was so scary. However, we've persevered anyway. We've put one foot in front of the other, even when we were tired and we didn't want to keep going anymore. And so there are rewards for that coming. It's sort of like we've been walking down this path, like trudging is the word I heard in my head, down this weary path for a little while. And yes, we've had some beautiful experiences and it has been wonderful at many times, but sometimes it's also been very trying. And it's like, don't give up before the miracle happens. We're in the final stretch right now. And now the full sentence is coming to the head, trudging towards a happy destiny or something like that. I think that's like a 12-step term or something. But yeah. So it's like the rewards for that, the abundance, the blessings for that are so very, very close. And like if you close your eyes, you can almost taste them. And that's like this intuition and this patience. It's like intuitively we can feel that is coming, like this rainbow, right? It's sort of like when the storm is just getting ready to pass. We're still at the tail end of the storm, but we have that sense that the rainbow is coming after the clouds begin to clear. And so that's the energy that we're in right now. So it's just allowing ourselves to be patient with our process, patient with ourselves, and to continue to allow this transformation to unfold in its own time, without rushing the process, without rushing ourselves, and just without giving up, just keeping hope. It's like there's a strong message of hope coming through. Like the sun, I got the image of like the sun when it bursts through the clouds. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have joyful activity, celebration of life, and abundance, the sun dancers. See? Absolutely perfect. This is the energy that we can sense, the energy that's coming our way. And so it's just hanging in there and seeing, like the energy, like this wave spell, the energy, the galactic energy of today says, seeing the art and the beauty, seeing the elegance and everything, really looking for that silver lining, right? Looking for what it is that we can be grateful for. Looking for the gifts and the blessings of this journey. The destination, and there is no real destination, right? But the destination, quote unquote, would not be nearly as rewarding if it hadn't been a journey to get there. Right? We appreciate it because of what it took to get there. And so that energy is just really coming through strong, strong, strong. Yeah. We're going to pull a couple Starseed Oracle. Clear. What additional messages do we have? 12/2/2020. Or whenever you're watching this, because time is fluid. Everyone finds these readings when they're meant to, when they're going to resonate. We're moving out of linear time. And so we date these videos because we have to date them something. It doesn't necessarily mean, the astrology that I go over applies to today and the galactic signature. But as far as the reading itself goes, whenever you find it is when you find it. And that's when it was meant to resonate. All right. Okay. And so we have wait. It's not yet time. Things are being woven. And that's that patience energy, right? And then we have called, soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. And so this is interesting, right? We have wait paired with it's time to step up. And so it's this energy of there are aspects coming together for us that require our patience and require divine timing. However, the things that we can take action on in the meantime, we want to take action on. It's sort of like we're in this preparation stage, a lot of us right now. We are, to use that metaphor, right? We're like the caterpillars in the cocoon, and we are getting ready to emerge, but there's training and there's learning that we need to do first. And so step up in the way that you're called to step up right now. When it comes to whatever is going on in your life right now, that is your training. It doesn't necessarily have to be a specific training. I will be gone. Speaking of trainings, I will be gone for a few days at the end of the week. The weekend, I'm doing another Theta training. But not for everyone is it something that specific, right? Sometimes it's not a formal training or something that we're learning in that way, but it's whatever is going on in your life right now. That is what's preparing you. That is what's training you. And so pay attention to everything that's happening in your life right now, because it's happening for a reason, and it's preparing you for what's next. There's a quote that I really love. It says, everything you're receiving is preparing you for what you asked for. And so understanding that and this training and however and wherever it's happening, allow that to happen. Allow yourself to be guided. Understand that you do have a calling, and there are obvious ways. Like when you start to feel that calling, if it is time to act, you'll know, because you'll know exactly what to do. It might push you a little bit out of your comfort zone. It might be a little bit less like it might be a little scary and intimidating, but you'll know what it is. You won't be confused. If you're confused, it's because it's not time yet. It's because things are being created for you. Opportunities are preparing themselves to be presented. And that's another thing coming through. It's take the steps that you're guided to take, but don't try to force anything to happen before it's time. Like, what would happen to that caterpillar if it burst out of that cocoon before its wings had fully formed? It might be able to fly a little ways, but it could never fly to the heights that it was meant to fly. And so we have to allow ourselves that full time. We have to allow these soul gifts to come through. We have to allow the training. We have to be patient with ourselves if we're not quite where we want to be. It's a process. And we continue to learn and grow. And part of how we learn and grow is, like, we use what we have. And then we're given more. And so whatever it is that you have to give, any way that you are being called to contribute, in whatever way you're being called to contribute, do that right now. And as you do that, that is the training that's going to help you to gain a better understanding of the things that, of what comes next. To really fine tune your gifts and your abilities and where those are leading you, and to get a clearer picture for that. So use what you have right now, and don't try to push yourself to be somewhere that you're not. Allow yourself to be fully immersed. That's why the whole journey destination thing came up earlier. Allow yourself to be fully immersed in the journey. And when obstacles show up in your path, when you're being asked to slow down a little bit, allow yourself to be slowed down. There's natural cycles of creation. Allow yourself to flow within that natural cycle of creation, wherever you are in that process. And when you feel like, when you don't know what to do, wait. When you know what to do, act. When you don't know which of these two applies to you, ask. And if you would like a personal reading, please reach out to me. I do offer those. I also offer really beautiful energy healings that can help to move us through some of these energies and gain a greater sense of peace and connection and clarity. But yeah, that's the message that's coming through there. I think that's really the main message, but we're going to see if anything else comes out. That message, that was the gist of it, I think. And then we have the weight of the world. Boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. And I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. This card, and I love it. So of course it comes out all the time because I love talking about this. But look at these cards and look at all of this beautiful ethereal starlight in both of these cards. They're absolutely gorgeous. And so this is the fated life that's weighing us down right now. All of the extra baggage that we're carrying that doesn't belong to us. And so some of this is like ancestral baggage, family baggage. This is trauma from this lifetime, from past lifetimes. There's so much that we're carrying, so much responsibility that many of us have weighing on our shoulders that does not belong to us. Just because somebody else tells us that this is what we're supposed to do does not make it so. That's their perspective. That's their understanding. And so it's up to us to decide what is truly ours and what is not, and to let go of what is not truly ours. To move toward our soul plan, it's like there's a lot of baggage I'm feeling for people that they feel is preventing them from stepping fully into their purpose and following that destined life. And it's almost like I get this feeling of almost like feeling a little bit of a pity party maybe for some people as far as this is concerned, of like, why is this so difficult? Why is this happening to me kind of energy, right? But it's because those are you're being asked to create boundaries. You need to learn how to set those boundaries, how to release what isn't yours, how to identify what is yours and what is not. These are all important lessons that need to be learned before you can step into your destined life. This is the training that we talked about, right? With the training. And it's super funny that came up because on the bottom of the deck now we also have Earth School, Life Lessons, Soul Growth, Study, Higher Learning, right? The School of Earth, the training coming through really loud. And so there are, like, you chose your fated life and the obstacles and the challenges and all of that energy, all of that baggage for a reason, so that you could unpack it, not so you could carry it around with you for another lifetime. That's not what we're doing here in this lifetime. It's so that you could unpack that, so you could learn how to lighten your load. But nobody else can do that for you. The universe will not do that for you. Every once in a while it will, if we're really veering too far off track. And it's just, I mean, if there is such a thing, but honestly, I feel like sometimes there is. Like, if there are times when it's really necessary, sometimes the universe will come in that tower energy and just remove things. But a lot of times it's up to us to do that, because that's part of the lesson that we're here to learn. And so just understanding that and really learning to identify, like, what am I carrying? And I feel like this is collective energy too. Like, a lot of people carrying that heavy collective energy around, and really needing to cleanse and clear your energetic field, and to understand what emotions are yours and what are not. Just like what morals, what ethics, what values are yours and what are not. This is a huge energy as we move toward the age of Aquarius, where we're moving out of that age of Pisces, when we were all very enmeshed, and we really clung on to that collective energy. In the age of Aquarius, we're also coming into our personal autonomy, and we're understanding what belongs to us and what doesn't. And we're really strongly taking ownership of what is ours, and we're really strongly releasing and disconnecting from what is not. So these are really important lessons that we came here to learn. Yeah. So that's what I'm feeling for that is, we are not responsible for everybody else's happiness. We are only responsible for our own happiness. And yes, many of us are here to make a big difference in the world, but that doesn't mean we have to carry it on our backs and allow it to weigh us down. That means that we release all of that extra baggage. We stand firmly in our own light, in our own power, and we shine that out into the world. And that's how we help the world. We don't help the world by enabling it, right? By doing for others what they can do for themselves. That's not helping, that's hindering. And we're beginning to understand, and we're beginning to see that. We want others to remember and to step into their own light, to step into their own empowerment. And so we have to set those boundaries with them. We have to relinquish what is not ours, and allow them then that process of being like, oh shit, now I'm carrying this and this is too heavy. Let me put this down too, right? All right, so I think that is, and then I love this because this is kind of that art energy, right? Surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. So that's seeing that beauty, really stepping into that energy of appreciation, right? Of gratitude, of appreciation, of really enjoying all of the blessings and all of the abundance that is flooding in, to make room for more abundance to continue to come in. All right, so I think we're going to call that for the reading today. I love you guys very much. I appreciate you very much. If you liked this video, like this video. There are links down below to donate to my channel if you feel so moved to do so. There is also my email down below and a description of the different services that I offer. If you would like some assistance, please reach out to me. I love connecting with you guys and working with you one-on-one. It's like my absolute favorite thing to do. So I would be absolutely honored if you wanted to do some work with me and really get into some of this stuff on a more personal level. Comment, let me know how this video is resonating. You guys know I love to hear from you in the comments as well. And you have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. I will talk to you all tomorrow.